Hi chums. I've got some bowls and plates I've made here for a friend of my daughter's in England called Hazel, and I think she wants two of each, so I've made three of each and to give her a choice. So basically, this is the bowl that I fashioned my wooden bowls after. It's a standard soup cereal bowl, and this is the blank, the type of blank that I use. It's a maple blank. I buy these in because they're kiln dried. The problem with kiln dried wood is that it can sometimes dry too quickly, but this stuff is pretty good. Okay, we'll take bowl number one. Okay, so there's the first bowl there. Right now, I'm only learning how to do pyrography here, so please forgive the writing on the bottom. It's not superb, but I'm only learning, you know. So it's just basically the BMAC 516 and Sycamore on the other side. These are Sycamore and Maple. Sycamore, the same thing basically, but they say they're almost self-cleaning because they're so resistant to diseases and infections and stuff, you know, and bacteria. So they're a pretty good thing to use for wooden eating out of things. Just to give you an idea of size. Now this standard bowl here, okay, this one here, we'll do it in centimeters, okay. It's 6 centimeters tall, and it's 16 and a half centimeters wide. So this bowl here is 7 centimeters tall, and it's 16 and a half centimeters wide. So just slightly taller, okay? So that's the first bowl. Now, one of the things I have to mention here is that on a bowl, you've got your side grain and your end grain, okay? So this is, in this one here, there's the end grain on that side, and this side, and the side grain at the top and bottom. End grain, but wood is like a bundle of straws, and if you imagine the straws are my fingers, as they dry, they collapse a wee bit. So you'll find that the end grain is never as smooth as the side grain. Now, if I was making this as a showpiece bowl, I would sand the bowl using wax. That would cause a slurry of sawdust and wax to go into the end grain, and then I would polish that out and it would be as smooth as glass, which would look really good for an exhibition type bowl. But if I was to do that on these bowls and use a slurry to fill in the end grain, that's not bad, you'll hardly notice it, but if I did to get that lovely glassy effect, what would happen then would be that Hazel would put her stew or her soup or whatever into it, the heat would melt the wax, and then the wax and the sawdust would go into her stew or her soup, and she'd end up eating it. So I don't use any waxes on this whatsoever, and I just sand it to 500 on the inside and 180 on the outside. The reason I do it 180 on the outside is that I want people to be able to grip it. There's no point in me making something so slippery that people drop it out of their hand. A normal countertop is usually sanded to about 120, so 180 will grip 120. So rather than setting the thing down, it's skating down the room, it'll give a bit of grip. So that's the first bowl there, and we'll just call that one number one, okay? And then this is the second bowl. Second bowl is just slightly darker and a slightly bigger. So it's, you can see there that it's finished. Now these are finished. When I finish the bowl, I wash it with pure alcohol. That basically disinfects it, and then I let it dry and then put on about 3 or 4 coats of mineral oil or liquid paraffin, same thing, which is absolutely inert and food safe, so that seals the bowl. Hazel, if you want to bring these bowls back up again in a couple of years, just go to your local chemist, ask for a little bottle of liquid paraffin, and just give them a wipe and it'll bring them up like new. As for washing, soap and water and a good rinse will wash them, because the oil's inside the wood, it's inside the grain now as much as I can get it in, so it'll kind of resist the soap and stuff. So sensible washing. And that one there, where is it? Put it there. That one there is about 7.5 centimeters high and 17 centimeters wide. So it's just slightly bigger than that one. So we'll call that one number 2. And then number 3 is this one here. And this one is maple again. So as you can see, the darker bit that's the end grain, which soaks up more of the oil. because I say it's like the open straws almost, you know. So that's the third bowl there. Just give you a look at the profile as best I can. We'll get my big finger, get my big fingers out of the way. I should have done that with number 2 as well, to let you see the profile on it. There's a profile on number 2 and on number 1. It's kind of a bit flatter towards the bottom, but I didn't make them all exactly the same. You don't want them all the same, you know. I also had to go with the wood to a certain extent. I know people talk about listening to the wood. That's a load of crap. What you do is you listen to what the tool is doing on the wood, and sometimes you hear wee noises and wee knocks and realise that just about here you've got a wee split or something, and you have to cut that out. So that's why it's slightly different. It's got all the wood's different, so all the shape's going to be slightly different depending on what I'm working with. So that one there is maple, and it's quite a nice one. It's like a honey sort of effect of it, you know. And the size for that one is it's 7 centimeters, just about 6 3/4 centimeters tall and 17 centimeters wide. So it's just slightly smaller than that one. It's just a wee bit tiny bit smaller than that one, but a bit slightly wider than this one. So I'll call that one number 3. So there's the 3 bowls, Hazel, for you to decide on whichever you want. Hold on, oops, it is. Of course, I opened the wrong part of the camera to let this thing turn. What am I doing here? Oh, there. So that's the 3 bowls there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Right, we'll move on to the plates. I'm scared of my battery running out. So that's 1. Now, just a minute. I just want to get these back to where they were again. So that's number 3. And put our cloth in there. Number 2. Put our cloth in there. And number 1. Put our cloth in there. Right. So that's that done. Right, onto the plates now. So this is the plate after which I fashioned the dinner plates. It's just a standard type dinner plate, and it is 27 centimeters across and 3 centimeters deep, and which gives you 2 centimeters of eating space. Okay, so that's that. The blanks for the dinner plates, they come looking like that there. Now, this was what the hold up was, Hazel. I didn't get these until a couple of months ago, and they were pretty wet when I got them, so I had to wait for these to dry. And they're very, very good quality, I'll say that. They weren't hard to turn, but they just took time because of the water in them. But the guy who supplies these, for the people in Northern Ireland, it's Sam Moore in the Woodshed supplied these, and they're very good quality. They are absolutely square back and front. Sometimes you get them and you put them on the lathe and they start doing this business. I put these in the lathe and they ran perfectly true. They're dimensionally perfect between the top and the bottom. So he slices wood really accurately, and he leaves the point in for the putting your centre in and all. So that's it there, Hazel. That's what they come out of, okay? And they're all sycamore. Okay, so the first plate is this one. Whoops, daisy. Oh, they're sticking together. Right, so there's the first plate there. And dimensions, it is 26 centimeters in diameter and about 3 centimeters deep. So it's much the same as the other one, and there's 2 centimeters of eating space. That one's got nice markings actually. So as you can see, I'm just trying to give you a fair look at the thing, you know. So that's the inside of it there. This has been finished with the alcohol and then olive oil, and I'll put another coat of olive oil in this because this is the last one I did, and it's still slightly dry. I like them to feel a wee tiny bit, well, not wet, but I know there's plenty of oil in them when I've got them done right. I want to practicing my signature again. So we've got a nice straight grain across the back of it, and sycamore, it's actually getting slightly better at it there, you know. So that's it, Hazel. That's the first plate there, and we'll call that number 1. And then the second plate is slightly lighter than that one. So that's the second plate. It's number 2, and it's 3 centimeters deep and 17 centimeters wide, or 27. Sorry, that one was 26. This one's slightly wider at 27. The reason for that is I would like to have made them all 27, but this piece here had a knot, just a small knot, which I've skirted. It would have been left right on the edge, and that's for sure that's where it would have split. So I had to take a knot off. So that's why it's slightly smaller than that one. But it's still the same size as that one there. It's still the same size as the plate that I was working off. So basically the dimensions are 27 centimetres across by 3 centimetres deep, and there's 2 centimetres of eating space. And once again, alcohol, wash with alcohol, and then olive oil, or not olive oil. You can use olive oil as well, Hazel, if you want, but olive oil can actually go rancid if it's left sitting for too long. If you're using them all the time, olive oil is absolutely fine, but don't put olive oil on and put them away for 3 years, because it will go rancid. The best one of all is the liquid paraffin, or mineral oil as they call it in America. It's the best, and there's the top of it, and then there's the bottom of it. It's just slightly lighter, and I'm going to put another coat in this one as well. Okay, so that's it. There's the end grain there. No, that's not the end grain, that's a side grain. There's the end grain there, as you can see, and it's just slightly darker because it absorbs slightly more oil. But that's a good thing. You want to get the oil into the end grain to keep it from splitting. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is this one. That's like a beach scene almost, isn't it? Like you can imagine that's like rocks coming out towards the sea, and another wee rock there, and that's just the sort of the sun setting behind clouds. I'm getting carried away here. I'll turn it upside down before I see something else. Oh, there's clouds now, look. So that's the third bowl, and dimensions is slightly. Now what I've done with that one is I've left that one slightly bigger than the other two, I think. It's 28 by 3 deep, and it's 2 inches, 2 deep, 2 centimetres deep of eating space. So it's slightly bigger than the other two, just by, what's that, by what? It's 28, and these ones are 27 and 26. So it's just 1 centimetre wider. So I think it's actually a nice one too. So there you go. That's it. It's got nice markings on it and stuff, you know. They say you've never enjoyed soup or stew until you've eaten it off a wooden plate. A wooden plate will also keep your food warm longer, so it'll mean that it doesn't get cold by the time you finish eating it. So one thing to be careful for if you're using these with children, to make sure their food isn't piping hot when it goes into them, because it will keep the food very hot. So there's B-Mac again, and we're on Sycamore again. So that's basically it, you know. I've got some little markings and stuff there, and there's the rim and the bottom, and that one's nice and flat. This one here, one of them has moved a wee bit since I did it. That one there, this first one moved a tiny bit, but it's not. You would I noticed it because I made it, you know, but you would hardly notice it. So we'll call that one number 3. I'll put it back into the seaside view, you know. Right, and we'll call that one number 3. Okay, so I'll just try and get those down here. So I'll just put those up there so you can get a proper look at them. Right, so number 1, number 2, and number 3. So that's 28. I think that's 27 and 26 wide. So that's the widest one there, and that's the least, the narrowest one. But it's still a proper sized dinner plate, as you can see. If we put that one on top of it, they're almost exactly the same size. That's more that size exactly there. So it's in between. It's slightly smaller than the standard plate, but that one there is exactly the size as the middle one, and that one's a bit bigger than it. Okay, so there you are, Hazel. Hope you can make your mind up from those, and if you don't like any of them, I'll have another go and make some more. Okay, and we'll see if we can get something you find that you like there. Okay, I've actually really enjoyed making these. It took a long time actually, because there's a lot of work in them. There's a lot of returning and shaping and going back and letting them dry, and so you have to wait for ages for them to dry before you can burn them and all this sort of stuff, you know. And there's a lot of work in it, but I learned a whole lot while I was making them too, so it was a very worthwhile project. But even as I got faster, it wasn't that much faster. There's about 3 hours work on each one of those, when you look at all the different processes that are involved in it. So that's it. But my attitude is cut slow and easy, rather than fast and hard and then have the thing come off the lathe, smash into a wall, and you've just lost all your work, you know. And funny, so there's a guy the other day, Les Thorne, is at a demo. An English guy came over here to do a demo for the Ulster chapter of the Irish Woodturning Guild, and he said the exact same thing. He said that don't be rushing into cuts because you'll just end up making a mess of the thing, you know. So, oops, sorry. I'm going to make a mess of the thing here. So just have a wee look at the bowls as well over here. So there's number 1, number 2, number 3, and I'll just give you the sizes of the bowl. You know what the plates are in order of size. That's the smallest to the biggest. So the bowls are 17, 17, and it's just slightly more than 17. But depth wise, we've got 7, 7, and they're all about the same depth. I think the one in the middle is just slightly taller. This one here. This is the one that's just about half a centimetre, maybe a quarter of a centimetre smaller. So that's your bowl. That's the biggest bowl and the smallest bowl, plate and the smallest bowl, and then those are just the other two there. Okay, so I hope that's okay, Hazel, that you can make your mind up from those, and we'll get those, whichever ones you want, you can get them fired over to you. Okay, all right then, all the best now. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye bye.